Today we're going to make a pair of pants with elastic waistband and pockets. So you're going to need to cut out 2 fronts, 2 backs, an elastic waistband, which is on the fold, and I'm going to show you how to cut that, and 4 pockets. For this project, I'm going to be using a lightweight flowy cotton gingham fabric. I'm now going to be tracing out the front part. I laid down some scissors to hold down my pattern onto my fabric. Don't forget to trace your notch out. So now I'm going to trace out the waistband. On the edge, you will see that it says cut on fold. This fabric is folded in half. So on the folded part, I'm going to add the pattern onto the folded edge of the fabric. And I'm going to weigh it down with some weights. And I'm going to go ahead and trace. This waistband also has notches, so make sure you mark those notches. First, I'm going to cut out the waistband, so it's on the fold. I'll go ahead and cut it. On the notch, I'm only going to do a little snip, indicating this is where my notch is. Again, we are not going to cut this part. It's on the fold, so we're just going to go straight up. And you have your waistband. So if you open it, it's one long strip. Now let's cut the pants out. Now I'm gonna cut out the pockets. I decided to go with this white cotton fabric for the pockets. You can use the same fabric if you like to match your pockets, but I decided to use this one. So I'm going to place my pocket. I have 4 layers here, so I'm just gonna cut it out once. I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna go ahead and trace. So now I can go ahead and cut my pockets out. And make sure that you have 4 pockets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to cut out the elastic that we're adding onto the waistband. So this pattern piece that we cut out for the waistband is measuring at 28 inches long. So now we have to make this elastic fit into the waistband. So with waistbands, you want to trim off about 2 inches or 2.5 inches so it can fit in the waistband and you can stretch it out to the 28 inches. So this was 28, so I'm going to cut out 26 inches long waistband. So that's the first step of our waistband. This is what your fabric should look like when you're done cutting it from your patterns. 2 fronts, 1, 2. You need 2 backs, 1, 2. You need 4 pockets, 1, 2, 3, 4. You need 1 waistband and 1 elastic waistband. So we're gonna get our front pieces out and we're going to serge the side seams of the pant leg one by one. So this is the side of the pant, and you're also going to serge the other side. Do the same to the back. The outer seam, serge it, and on the other side too. Now we're going to serge the outer part of the pocket. For each pocket, we're going to serge the outer part of the pocket. Once you're done serging the outer part, then go back and serge the edge. Now we're going to attach the pocket to the pants. This is the front part of my pants and it's facing good side, so it's facing upward. On the top of the pant on the waistline, we're going to mark 2 inches down. So I have here marked 2 inches. I'm then going to get my pocket and good side to good side, so good side of the fabric of your pant and good side of the fabric of your pocket, you're going to place them together at the 2-inch mark. Once you have placed it good sides together and the edge of the pocket to the side seam of the pant, you can go ahead and pin it down. Once your pocket is pinned, you can go ahead and stitch a simple seam 1/2 inch from the edge. So you're going to move 1/2 inch over, you're going to back tack, go straight down and end it with the back tack at 1/2 inch. You're going to do this process to all pockets of the pants. So once you have your stitch into place, you're going to open up your pocket and we're going to add a top stitch on the pocket side here. So we're going to make sure that all the seams on the inside are facing towards the pocket side. And we're going to do a top stitch right next to the edge. So about 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch over, back tack, simple stitch, and then another back tack. Do this to all the pockets. Now we're going to get one side of your front and one side of your back, and good sides together, we're going to attach them. So this is my front and this is my back. So I'm going to put my front good side to good side on my back, and I'm going to sew the pockets down together. So I'm going to make sure that everything is nice and even up on the waist, all the way down to the bottom of the pant. Just make sure everything's nice and even. So now that we have everything matching up, we're going to pin and sew the pocket down and also the side seam of the pant. Once I have everything pinned, I'm going to go ahead and sew. I'm going to start in at a 1/2 inch. I'm going to back tack. I'm going to go straight down, and we have a seam here. We're going to go about a 1/2 inch past the end of the seam. Then we're going to pivot towards the pocket at a 1/2 inch. We're going to go around the pocket, back up. We have another stitch here. We're going to pass up a 1/2 inch. And then we're going to go down a 1/2 inch, all the way down towards the bottom of the pant. We're going to do this on both sides of the pant, this side and the other leg. So going in at a 1/2 inch, back tack. We have 2 seams here, and we want to go past those seams about a 1/2 inch. Keep sewing past those seams. On the outer side of this seam, we're going to be sewing on the outside. Then you're going to pivot. Make sure your needle's in your fabric. Remember, we're sewing the pocket at a 1/2 inch, so make sure that you're on the 1/2 inch seam line. Keep going. And then when you get to this end, make sure that you're about a 1/2 inch above these seams as well that we ended. And now you're going to go 1/2 inch down the side seam of the pant. When you're sewing your pants, make sure that the both ends of the bottom of the pant are together and even. If you sew without holding the bottom of the pants together, your pants will be sewn uneven. So make sure that you hold the bottoms together. So after you're done sewing your pocket and your side seam together, we're going to go ahead and attach the inner seam of the pant. It's going to be a little off because the back is bigger than the front. And if the back is bigger than the front, you have everything aligned correctly. You're going to pull the front towards the back seam, and we're going to pin from the bottom of the crotch down towards the bottom of the pant. Do this to the other side of the pant. Now we're going to sew the inner seams together. So again, we got our fronts and our backs, good side to good side at a 1/2 inch. Once we have sewn the inner seam, we can go ahead and serge the edge on both sides. one side of the pant leg right side out. And I'm going to put this pant leg inside of the other pant leg. So now that the pant leg is inside, so now good side to good side, we're going to match up the inner seam. So here we have the two seams. Make sure that you match them up perfectly. And go ahead and pin it into place. We're going to make like a perfect U. And we're going to pin them together to connect the pants. So now that we have the inner seams connected, we're going to move it up towards the front part of the pant. All the way till you get up towards the waistline. And then you're going to move up and you're going to connect the back part of the pant all the way up towards the waistline. So once we have everything pinned from the inner seam to the back part of the pant and the front part of the pant, we're going to sew from the top part. We're going to back tack, go across the inner seam towards the back and back tack. So we're doing a U shape here. After we're done, we're going to serge it. So now we're going to get our waistband and we're going to fold it in half, the good side to good side. And on the edge here, we're going to sew at a 1/2 inch down. So back tack, sew, and back. So now that you've sewn the edge together, we're going to flip it and you're going to fold it in on itself. So now we're folding back side to back side, and then this is the outside of the waistband. You can go ahead and press it at this point so everything's nice and flat. I'm gonna go do that with the iron. So once you flip your pants right side out, it's going to look like this. So you have your waistband that it's flipped out, right side out, and then your pants. Now you want to attach your waistband to your pant. You have your front part and the seam where we close the waistband together, that's going to be your back. So then now you want to go ahead and slide your waistband, flip it so the open edge is facing upward, and you're going to slide it down good side to good side. Remember that your seams should be in the back. Your seam is in the back of your pant. And the way that you know what is your back is that we have notches here. If you have 2 front notches, that's the front part of your pant. Also, on your waistband pattern, it has 2 front notches, and you're supposed to match it to the 2 front. So once you slide the waistband through, you'll have the openings of the waistband facing up with the waistline. Now we're going to pin. I like to start in the back to make sure that my stitch in the back is matching the stitch of the back of the pant. Pin the back stitch. Now I'm going to go to the front and I'm going to match the front seam. Now I'm going to pull my pants open and making sure that the side seams match my pant. Your waistband should fit directly over the seam, so there should be no gap. Once you know that your waistband's fitting your waist, I like to pin the side seams. So now I'm going to sew the waistband onto the pant. I'm going to start from the back and I'm going to back tag, go forward, up to the front, around, towards the back. I'm not going to close it off. I'm going to leave about a 2-inch gap so I can feed my elastic through my waistband and we can finish it off that way. So again, I'm going to start from the back, making sure that my seams match up, my back seam with the back seam of the waistband. And I'm going to sew it at a 1/2 inch. When I get to my side seam, we have some fabric. You just want to go ahead and push it towards the back. Now my front notches are matching, so my front notch of the pant is also matching the front notch of the waistband. Again, once you get to a side seam, you're going to push that back. Now, once you reach the back, make sure you leave about 2 inches to feed that elastic through. So I'm going to end it about here, back tack. So now I have a little hole right here to feed my elastic through. Okay, so now I'm going to get my elastic and I have a safety pin and I'm just going to pin the end of this elastic. And now I'm going to feed this through the waistband part. And I'm going to go all the way around until it comes out the other end. So once it's fed through, you're going to pull the rest of the elastic over. And now you're going to meet the 2 ends. But I like to hold on to the ends and then fix the waistband so it's nice and even all the way around. Okay, so once you have both elastics pulled through, I like to take the safety pin off. Now I'm gonna layer the 2 elastics over each other like this. And then I'm going to make a perfect little rectangle and then add an X in the middle. The X is optional, but you do have to secure it with a rectangle shape. Then if you want to make the X, it's optional, but you could do that. So once you have sewed the 2 pieces together, just go ahead and wiggle it back in the casing. And at this point, I just like to wiggle it so it's nice and flat all the way around. So once you've attached your waistband to your pant and also fed your elastic through, we can close off this hole. We're going to serge the edge so it's nice and clean around. So you're just sewing down the seam itself and making it clean. close up that hole that we left. So now you have a clean waistband as well. The last step is doing the hem of the pants. I'm going to show you guys an easier way to fold the bottom half of your pant or your skirt to make a hem. So I just put my pant inside of the edge of the ironing board, and we have a seam here that can be flipped open. So I'm going to flip open that bottom half of the seam, and I'm going to press it a little bit. Now I'm going to fold up 1/4 of an inch on the bottom half of the pant, and I'm going to press it going all the way around the pant leg at 1/4 of an inch. Once we iron the bottom half at 1/4 of an inch, we're going to flip it one more time up 1/2 an inch to get that clean bottom hem. If you want to make your hem larger, like 1 inch, then you press up 1/2 and then 1/2 again. But we're just going to do 1/2 inch hem, and then we're going to press one more time. So now it'll be way easier for you to stitch your hem down. So again, try to get close to the edge. This is an edge stitch, about 1/8 to 1/4 down, and then you're going to go all the way around the edge. Do this to the other side of the pant. So now that we have pressed the bottom hem, it'll be easier for us to sew the hem down. So now all we have to do is place it in the machine, and I'm going to sew it close down to this edge, about a little bit less than 1/4, and go all the way around. When you reach the other side, just make sure that the end of the stitch matches with the beginning of the stitch. Make it overlap a little bit and back tack, and your hem is done. Do this to the other side.